Hi, and welcome to Chapter 1. This week's Chapter 1, I am reading Chapter 1 of April Fool's Alibis. It's a little blurry, huh? Chapter 1. The cheerful sounds of carnival music filled the air, mixing with the happy yells of kids running around. It was the kind of day at Holiday Junction that had everyone feeling like a kid again. The Fools Festival was the highlight of the season, and Holiday Park was buzzing with tourists and locals enjoying the sunshine and the lakes where the swan paddle boats glided on the water like something out of a storybook. There's just something special about seeing the world through the lens, I mused quietly to myself. Officially, I was here on assignment for the Junction Journal, snapping shots for the big article on the Fools Festival. Unofficially, I was people watching, like catching Fern Banks in the act. She was tucked way behind the oversized wooden jester hat, shoveling a funnel cake in her mouth when she thought no one was looking. Fern was a long way from her beauty queen days, but she still had the knack for turning heads and pulling up the heartstrings of local moms. She'd sell them dreams of success and beauty for their kids, all while teaching classes that promised to set them on the right path so they could get a pageant winner just like she was. With my camera in hand, I kept walking and strapped around my neck, bouncing lightly with each step. The smell of fried dough and sweet powdered sugar was in the air, and every so often a burst of laughter would rise above the constant buzz of chatter. Kids were chasing each other around, and their faces were painted with bright colors and their hands sticky from the cotton candy. I snapped a few photos of the happy chaos, just making sure to capture the warmth and closeness of our little town during festival time. It was these moments that made Holiday Junction more than just a place on the map. It's a community, a families that were brought together by tradition and good old-fashioned fun. I moved on, and the merry music guiding me through the park, past booths of handmade crafts and games of chance that had folks grinning whether they won or lost. The wooden cutouts of the jester rabbits and oversized flower made for the perfect photo op, and I caught more than a few families posing with them, their smiles genuine and wide. The festival was Holiday Junction's heart laid out for all to see, and through my lens, I planned to show every beat. I rounded the corner, and there it was, the paparazzi photo op, decked out with all the trappings of a Fool's Day bonanza. At the center of it all was our very own Mayor Paisley, the Boston Terrier with the knack for winning hearts and votes. Decked out in a miniature jester hat and a sequin collar that sparkled in the sun, she was undisputably the star of the festival. Her owner, Christine Whitlock, stood beside her, the lines on her face mapping out a life rich with laughter and sunny days. Her salt and pepper hair caught the light as she threw her head back, laughing at something one of the festival goers had said to her. Christine and her husband, Hubert, were pillars of the community, and their Jubilee Inn on Main Street was a cozy haven for visitors and locals alike. Christine, Paisley, I called out, waving a hand to catch their attention. Smile for the Junction Journal. Christine turned, her smile lines deepening, and wrapped an arm around her four-legged counterpart. The two posed like seasoned pros that they were, with Paisley's tongue lolling out in pant that seemed to say, I'm ready for my close-up. The click of the shutter captured the moment, a perfect snapshot of Holiday Junction's warmth and charm. Christine's eyes crinkled with genuine affection as she looked down at Paisley, and I found myself smiling behind the camera. These were the moments that made our little village more than a collection of just streets and shop. It was the tapestry of connections and shared smiles. I got it, I said, lowering the camera. That's going to be on the front page for sure. Christine chuckled, smoothing down the ruffles of Paisley's costume. Oh, Violet, as if Paisley hasn't had her fill of spotlights already, she teased, but her eyes were twinkling with pride. Well, you know, everyone loves to see her, I replied. She's got more charisma than most of the council put together. That she does, Christine agreed, giving Paisley a gentle pat. That she does. As Christine and I shared a lighthearted moment, the familiar sight of my mama, Millie Kay, caught my eye. She was approaching, holding a caramel apple, its glossy coating catching the sunlight. Her presence was like a soft southern breeze, bringing with it a touch of elegance that stood out among the festival's casual cheer. Mama had made her way through the crowd with a grace that made it seem like a sea of people parted just for her. She arrived beside us, offering a genteel smile that matched her polished appearance. In her monogram sweater, which was just the right balance between her stylish and her classic look, she appeared as if she stepped off the pages of Southern Living magazine. Her blonde hair, styled perfectly with soft waves, barely betrayed her age with whispers of gray at the temples. Violet, she greeted me, her southern drawl wrapping around my name like a warm blanket. Christine, Paisley, y'all are looking as charming as ever. Christine beamed at the compliment. Well, Millie Kay, you are looking radiant as always, she said. And how do you manage? Oh, Mama waved a hand dismissively, though I caught the twinkle of pride in her eye. Just a little something I threw on. She then presented the caramel apple to me with a flourish of a prize trophy. Thought you might need a little bit of sugar to keep you going. A good friend down the leisure center keeps me busy. The caramel apple looked like something straight out of a gourmet confectionery, the caramel smooth and inviting. And I thanked her and I took it and then took a bite. The sweetness of the caramel merging with the tartness of the apple is such a melody of flavors. I gestured with the apple towards Paisley, who was eyeing it with a mix of curiosity and longing. Don't worry, I won't give her any, I assured Christine, who was watching her pup like a hawk. Isn't this just wonderful? The whole town comes alive for these festivals, Mama chuckled softly, her gaze drifting over the festival grounds. It sure does, I agreed, my eyes sweeping over the vibrant scene before us. The laughter and the joy of Holiday Junction was on this beautiful, bright, and sunny day. Christine got swept up in a wave of tourists eager for their photo op with Mayor Paisley, and I nudged Mama. Come on, you can walk with me while I take more photos. Are you heading over to the leisure center later? I asked her. I'll be swinging by and getting a few photos of the leading ladies rehearsing Fool Me Once. I had promised her that I would take this week off from the Junction Journal's picture taking now and then so that I could go over and take some photos of the leading ladies' rehearsals. Mama had been helping me Google things and go to the courthouse to pull any information I might need for the various articles. But now that Louise and Marge had hired Radley, I was able to let him do those things while Mama continued to work on her leisure center, which was just a fancy name for Senior Citizens Building. And she had honestly done a really good job. Mama's face lit up at the mention of me coming to take pictures and the leading ladies play, of which she was a member too. Oh, you'll love what they have done with the auditorium, she said, referring to the leisure ladies. It's all spring colors and April folly. But before I could answer, a voice smooth as silk but carried an edge called out, Miss. We turned to see a palm reader. Her table, a riot of colors with scars, fluttered in the breeze like flags in a foreign land. Her eyes were rimmed with kohl, and her hair was a nest of curls, festooned with various feathers and beads. Rings adored every finger, and her shawl was embroidered with a mystical symbol. No pictures, dear, she said as I raised my camera in habit, thinking that she wanted a free photo op. But I have a message for you. I hesitated, the camera strap now a weight around my neck. I'm not really into, I started to say after I heard Mama let out a harumph. Come on, Violet, Mama interjected, her tone laced with that familiar Southern charm that barely masked her disdain. The palm reader, however, continued as if Mama hadn't spoken. No charge, she insisted. A message you need to hear. Don't fall for that fool's errand, Violet, Mama scoffed, pulling out my arm. But curiosity rooted me in the spot. The palm reader, she walked over and leaned closer, her voice dripping a whisper that seemed to slither in my ear. Beware, for there's a fool among you, one whose final jest will be met with silence, not laughter. The word sent a chill down my spine despite that sunny day. I walked away quickly, my face drained of color, and Mama was hot on my heels. "What did that zealot say to you, Violet?" Mama demanded. "I need to go back," I said, moving faster now, my heart thudding unevenly. "The photos, the article for tomorrow, online edition. I need to go back to work." Mama was relentless. "Now, Violet Roundhammer, you stop this instant and tell me what she said," she protested. I paused at the edge of the festival where the laughter and the music faded into the background, overtaken by the gentle lapping of the lake against the shore. She said, I paused. I gulped. "There's a fool among us. There's someone's end is nigh." The words hung in the air as heavy as the humidity that was starting to settle in for the afternoon. Mama's frown deepened, but I was already turning away, heading down the path that would lead me past the lake, through the dunes, and to the beach, the quickest route back to the safety of the Junction Journal office. As I walked back to the office, the palm reader's word played over and over in my mind, a haunting echo that seemed to match the rhythm of my steps. "A fool's demise," she had said. Or was it just another April Fool's trick? Chapter 1, April Fool's Alibi.